Do you remember when Christmas meant aluminum trees and bubble lights? When a holiday season wasn't just about rushing through shopping lists, but about quirky rituals that wrapped your world in wonder and whimsy. Back in the 1960s and 70s, families across America and beyond celebrated with traditions so unique, so full of heart, that they've since faded into the misty corners of memory, replaced by streaming lights and instant deliveries. But today, we're pulling them out of the attic, dusting them off, and shining a light on 10 forgotten Christmas traditions from that enchanting era that vanished completely. These aren't just old stories. They're time capsules bursting with aha moments that'll have you nodding along, maybe even share your own tales in the comments. 10. Stockings with oranges and nuts. Stockings stuffed to the brim with oranges and nuts. The sweet, simple surprise that kicked off so many 60s and 70s Christmas mornings. Picture this. The fire's embers still glowing, stockings dangling like promises from the mantle. You, or maybe your parents as kids, reach in, past a few peppermints, and pull out a vibrant orange. It's skin cool and fragrant, paired with a handful of walnuts cracked open right there on the spot. It was a nod to leaner times, a Depression-era echo turned joyful luxury, where that first zesty bite felt like unwrapping sunshine on a winter day. Families laughed over the mess of shells, turning it into an impromptu game. Yet, as supermarkets started stocking citrus year-round by the mid-70s, the rarity wore off and candy bars or toy cars elbowed their way in. Today, it's a whisper of the past. But wouldn't it be fun to sneak one orange back into your stocking this year? 9. Fruitcake as serious gifts. Fruitcake. Not as a butt of jokes, but as a boozy, beloved gift that said, I put my heart and a bottle of brandy into this. In the 60s and early 70s, these dense loaves packed with candied fruits, nuts, and spices were holiday MVPs, baked from scratch or mail-ordered in festive tins for neighbors, teachers, and office secret Santas. Wrapped in ribbon, they'd sit proudly under the tree, promising weeks of slices with cheese or coffee. Even celebs like Johnny Carson raved about them on late-night TV, turning fruitcake into a symbol of enduring thoughtfulness. But endless punchlines in the late 70s. Think fruitcake doorstops. Flip the script, and quicker desserts like pies took over. Now it's mostly a meme, but imagine the warmth of gifting one homemade. Could it make a comeback on your table? 8. Bubble lights. Bubble lights. Those fizzy little wonders that made your Christmas tree feel like a living lava lamp. Debuting strong in the 60s after their 1940s invention, these glass tubes, filled with mysterious liquid, would bubble and swirl hypnotically when the bulb warmed up, casting rainbow dances across the room. Kids pressed noses to branches, mesmerized, while parents proudly strung dozens of that ooh-ah effect at holiday parties. At about $5 a set, they were a splurge, but the magic? Priceless. The 1973 oil crisis jacked up energy costs, and by the late 70s, efficient LEDs stole the show. They're collector's items now, but one string could still bubble up some serious childhood awe, don't you think? 7. DIY tree flocking kits. DIY tree flocking kits. The snowy DIY disaster that turned ordinary trees into forever green blizzards. Through the 60s and into the 70s, families armed with aerosol cans of white fluff. Think shredded paper mixed with adhesive, sometimes sketchy stuff like asbestos, would spray their pines or fakes for an instant winter wonderland vibe. Laughter filled the air as overspray turned hair frosty and floors slippery. But the result? A tree that looked like it stepped out of a Currier and Ives print, complete with that fresh snow scent. Kits flew off shelves at $10 a pop. Mid-70s health alerts nixed the hazardous ingredients, and factory flock trees arrived ready to go. It's safer sans a mess today, but the family Flockfest memories? Pure gold. 6. Real candles on Christmas trees. Real candles flickering on the Christmas tree. A daring candlelit glow that brought old world romance to 60s and 70s homes. Drawing from European roots, especially German families, clips of beeswax tapers were fastened to branches and lit just once a year on Christmas Eve, bathing the room in soft, dancing flames while everyone held their breath. Water buckets and damp blankets stood sentinel nearby, adding thrill to the carol-singing hush. It wasn't just light. It was a shared spell of serenity and sparkle. Stricter fire codes and brighter electrics dimmed them out by the 1970s. Over 1,000 tree Fires a year back then didn't help. Safer now, but that primal flame flicker? It still calls to the soul. 5. Sears Wish Book Catalogs. The Sears Wish Book, that massive, glossy portal to holiday heaven that landed in mailboxes like Santa's early scout. From the late 60s through the 70s, the 600-page behemoth overflowed with toys, bikes, and gadgets, sending kids into a circling frenzy with red pens. Mom, I need the Johnny Express train set. Rural folks treated it like gospel, flipping pages by flashlight under covers. 9 million copies in 1972 alone. It was dreaming made paper. The web's rise digitized desires by the 90s, ending print runs in 1993. Digital wish lists are handy, but nothing beats the tactile thrill of that catalog crease for Christmas Club savings accounts. Christmas Club savings accounts, the clever, guilt-free way to stash for the season without the January blues. Popular since the 1920s, but peaking in the 60s, millions of positive $1 or $5 weekly into bank envelopes earmarked just for gifts. 14 million accounts in 1965. Come December, out popped a check for stress-free spending, turning saving into a fun family pact over coffee and coupons. Credit cards' easy allure in the 70s tempted impulse buys, and banks bailed by 1980. Old school smart, right? Maybe it's time for a modern club app. 3. Lead tinsel on trees. Lead lace tinsel, the ultra-shiny strands that drape trees like liquid silver waterfalls. In the 60s, this heavy foil, weighted with lead for perfect, straight hangs, caught every light ray, creating icicle illusions that mesmerize from across the room. Cheap and easy, a box transformed scraggly branches into glamour queens, with kids and cats alike swatting at the gleam. FDA warnings in 1972 flagged poisoning risks to tots and pets, banning it cold. Plastic pretenders flopped, leaving trees a tad less dazzling but safer. 2. Door-to-door caroling. Door-to-door caroling, the harmonious house crawl that knit neighborhoods tighter than a wool scarf. Through the 60s and early 70s, bundle groups, church choirs, or neighbor kids traipsed snowy streets, belting deck the halls at porches for cocoa, cookies, and coin jars for charity. Flashlights bobbed, voices blended in imperfect joy, forging bonds one verse at a time. 80% of blocks joined in during 1960. Stranger danger scares, work schedules, and urban shift silenced the songs by mid-70s. It's a lost chorus now, but one group sing-along could revive the spirit. 1. Aluminum Christmas trees. Aluminum Christmas trees, the futuristic silver sentinels that redefined holiday chic in the 60s. Hitting shelves in 1959, these needle-free metallics, paired with rotating color wheels flooding rooms in hues of rose and azure, scream modern glamour. Even Eisenhower lit one up. 1 million sold in 1965, turning living rooms into space-age spectacles. The 1965 Charlie Brown special branded them phony, crashing sales by 1969 as real trees rallied back. Flashy then, forgotten now, but their shine lingers in our retro dreams. What a trip through time. 10 forgotten Christmas traditions from the 1960s and 70s that vanished completely, each one a thread in the tapestry of holidays past. Which hit home for you? The bubbling lights or that Sears catalog marathon? Share in the comments. Your stories keep the magic alive. If this sparks some smiles, smash that like, subscribe for more nostalgic dives, and bell up for weekly wonders. Wishing you a season sprinkled with old joys and new ones. Until next time, keep the wonder alive.